Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel, and yes, this is the fourth video in a row where I'm wearing the same attire. We're powering through these average reviews. But before we get into it, let's get into the standard housekeeping and please the AI overlords on YouTube. If you feel like it, subscribe to the channel, turn the bell for more notifications, comment down below, throw a like, check out my other videos, and then come join me over on Twitch where I give away a Steam PC game away every Friday. Now, let's get into the very interesting game called Hell Is Us and our Giga Chin friend here. I have a lot to say about this game, for the good and for the worst. Let's start with just, the overall of what I like about it, because even though everything I like about this game, the negatives are going to really outweigh what I like. This is kind of a vehicle for how the story is told. You're eventually captured, and you're getting interrogated by this mega chin guy, or lack of a chin guy. Don't really know how to describe it. What I like about this game, there's no map. There's no hand-holding. There's no telling you where to go, what to do, anything like that. I found that to be incredibly awesome, and they stuck to their guns on that. It is very easy to miss a side story, a side quest, a good deed, or not even know where to go for the main story. You have to read, you have to look. There's several tabs that help you out with that, and the investigation tab I think is pretty cool. So right off the bat, I love that they did that. And this is, I would call it a semi-open world, because obviously you're limited to where you can go, but there are several regions you can go to and explore, which are phenomenal. Right off the rip, this is very early in the game. Visuals are great. This is you going in and explaining everything. I will say the story is very complicated, because if you do not explore, if you do not read, if you do not exhaust all dialogue, you are going to miss what's going on. And I'll be real, I still couldn't tell you what they were trying to do in this game with the story. In the first 30 hours, I really loved this game. It was absolutely phenomenal. There's a lot that I thought they could have did better, but that's kind of where the positives stop with this game. Because now I'm going to get into the negatives and why I don't think the average gamer is going to want to play this. This could have been a great game. There was a lot going for it. I think they had something great here, and then it slipped. So there's 3 levels of difficulty here. I played on the hardest, which is Merciless. I'm glad I did. Otherwise, I think this game would have been far too easy. Now, I'm not saying that it's easier on the lower, like super easy, but like I played on the hardest difficulty, and if I didn't do that, I think I would have beat it much faster. There are several different weapons you can get and several different statuses. There's a polearm, great, and twin axes. I think that's it. Maybe it's just those 3, but each one, there's different things in the game called grief, envy, ecstasy, and fear. Those are like your 4 main elemental types in this game, and you learn about all that. The combat is where this game is the first major dipping off point where this game really failed. I got to a point where even on the hard difficulty, I could just parry and then absolutely destroy enemies. Maybe I just had a really good build, I don't know, but I feel like they could have did more with the combat. There are some enemies that are very annoying. Individually, they are not bad. And I'm just going to explain this off the bat. Based on those things I just told you, the fear, the ecstasy, some of these enemies will be imbued with that. And so they'll be like a white creature, and they'll spew out those emotions, and then you have to defeat the emotion before you can attack the main body. So when you get multiple together, like 5, 6, 7, and they're all tied to an emotion, it gets pretty hectic and pretty boring, because it's like you got one that will do short range, you have one that will do close range, and you can't even get into the one that can, the fear, the ecstasy, or whatever you're trying to fight to weaken the main body. So combat is where the first part where this game really fell off. If this was just like a straight just investigation game, it probably would have did better, honestly. Because like I said, here's the tab. That's the tablet you get. You have all these different things to figure out. To explore the world. Again, where this game did good was to explore the world, to discover things. It didn't hold your hand. You had to ask questions to unlock information to further a side quest or further the main mission. But the combat, combat almost feels like a chore. Which is really unfortunate, because I feel like the combat could have been really good. And now I'm honestly, normally I wouldn't talk about this when it comes to endgame, but it absolutely needs to be talked about, because I think it's absolutely ridiculous, and I'm going to go on the record stating this game had the worst ending of any game I played in 2025. That's how disappointing it was. There's 3 acts total in this game. Acts 1 and 2 probably took me a combined of 30 hours just trying to make sure I did everything, right? Completing the quest, side quest, trying to collect as much as I could in one playthrough. And then I'm not going to explain how you get into the 3rd act, but so I'm at about the 30-hour mark, and then I open something and I'm in the third act. And I kid you not when I tell you the third act probably took 30 minutes. The game just ends. And I'm not going to tell you how it ends, but it's super, super, super disappointing. How do you have acts 1 and 2 take a combined of 30 hours, and then just your final act, you're bringing it all together, the crescendo, everything coming together, and just, it doesn't even fizzle. It just, little bubbles coming out of the water like it was drowning. Like there was so much going on and it left so much on the table story wise. Again, yes, you have to explore and read and understand all that, but like I still can't explain this ending. I still can't explain this ending at all. Like it was honestly disappointing. Like I was honestly upset. I was a little mad. I'm like, how do you make that the ending? So combat and how abruptly the story ends are my biggest downfalls, and why I don't think the average gamer is going to like this game. I think it's an extreme letdown. And you know, it tells you, oh, hey, there might be some stuff you missed. You know, go back, close time loops. Time loops are another thing I'm not even going to get into, because you're probably not even going to close the majority of them, because the things you need to close them are hard to find. But it's like, go back, unlock the mysteries of Hadia and all that stuff. So it's just, I had such high hopes for this game. I really did. Before I continue complaining about that, I'm just going to show you some of the investigation dialogue trees I tell you about. So this is how you would figure out how to beat the game, is just talking to people, dialogue, and all that. And I do want to show you some combat. You do have some accessories you can equip. These are the enemies I was talking about. They could expel these emotions, and you'd have to fight them. This is what got me hyped. This is what brings you in, but then you just do everything and then it just fails. That's actually not what the combat looks like. I do want to show you the combat, so I'm going to skip around until I find it. And then I'm going to get into the third big thing. Here's some of the combat, what I was talking about. Like, there's the main body and the thing that comes out. You have to destroy the red thing before you destroy the white body, which is super annoying. And then you'll notice that as my health goes down, my stamina goes down. Your health and your stamina are inherently linked in this game. So that means if you have no health, you have no stamina. And now I will say there is a caveat to get your health back. It's almost like a pulse mechanic from Neo, or even Bloodborne's the whatever mechanic where you rage back in to get your health. If you do certain damage, you can pulse and get your health back. But man, it really sucked having your health tied to your stamina, because you could be almost like a small bar and just, you can't even attack, you can't run away, you can't do anything. So the big negatives in this game, which I think overwhelmingly make this game not accessible to the average gamers, is the combat, the abrupt end of the story, and then that mechanic right there where your health is linked to your stamina. With those big three things right there, I think is going to absolutely turn away the average gamer. I don't even think like the fact that there's no map and there's no handholding would turn away the average gamer. It's those three things specifically. I'm still very disappointed talking about it. Like, I want to get into it, but if someone does watch this and doesn't want to be spoiled and they genuinely want to try this game, I don't want to spoil it for them. But just know that the ending is just so bad. And I'm not going to lie, they hint at a second one. They do. But it's just, overall, it was just, how can you end a game? Like, this game was super hyped up, very, oh yeah, it's going to be great. Saw all the big streamers playing it, super excited. And then, I had like 5 more streams planned out. I planned out all my streams. And the fact that I beat the final act in 30 minutes, I was like, well, that's disappointing. It is good, it is a good price point, $49.99. So for the average gamer, absolutely not. I can't recommend this. You got to be a true gamer, a streamer, something like that, because to put 30 hours into the game just for it to end in 30 minutes, to me is wild, and your final act just absolutely flutter out. Even if it's on sale for the average gamer, I don't recommend it. You gotta really want to play this game. I think they still have a demo available. Check that out before you buy this game. I wanted this game to be absolutely amazing. I wanted it to be just 10 out of 10, but it's not. Average gamers, please avoid it. Save your money. If you're on Steam, if you feel like you get the refund it. But check out the demo at least before you play it. But that's hella sus. That's just me on the talking points where I think an average gamer is going to want to know about it. So yeah, thanks for watching. Catch you in the next one. Be sure to check out a live stream. See ya.